É um lugar de tormento eterno. Um antro de pecado e sofrimento. Um mundo de desespero eterno. Inferno.
Part of the essence of hell is that one chooses it.
Para entender essa visão, faça a jornada ao Inferno de Dante, o livro que deu vida ao inferno.
Grandes clássicos da literatura. O Inferno de Dante.
Na Itália medieval, Dante Alighieri escreveu um poema épico chamado Inferno, que definiu o inferno para a cultura ocidental. O próprio Dante é o personagem principal. Ele está perdido e em uma crise de profundo desespero.
The Inferno is the greatest work ever written about what we in our jargon call depression. Dante considers it a sin, indeed his sin, and he tries to deal with that sin by showing himself all the ways that souls injure themselves.
O poema começa na selva escura do pecado, um lugar que simboliza o pecado e a corrupção da alma de Dante.
The Inferno is the story of someone who has come to realize one day that he's not the person he set out to be, that he finds himself in this dark wood of error. He doesn't know how to get out of there. And there are no shortcuts when you're in that situation.
Dante enviou o espírito do grande poeta Virgílio para tirá-lo da escuridão e levá-lo à salvação. Para Dante, Virgílio é um modelo de poeta. Ele escreveu sobre o inferno, sobre o Império Romano e, profeticamente, sobre a chegada de Cristo.
Virgil represents the greatness of all the classical art. And Dante represents, especially if we compare him to epic heroes, killers with swords, he is a guy with a writing instrument, a man, a person, and he represents the soul that is on a voyage.
Juntos eles descerão pelos 9 círculos do inferno. Os 9 círculos de Dante deram ao inferno uma estrutura definida. Cada círculo contém um grupo distinto de pecadores. À medida que Dante vai descendo, os pecados e punições vão piorando.
Dante works very hard to create not just a physical geography that allows him to punish sinners appropriately, but he creates a moral geography.
The Inferno is about the difficulty and exertion of living a human life. If we're lucky, the life is a voyage or a quest, and the Inferno is about that quest through a life.
Pouco se sabe sobre a vida de Dante. Sua mãe morreu quando ele era muito jovem, e na adolescência ele estava órfão. Dante não foi apenas um poeta bem conhecido, mas também foi um político bem-sucedido. Em 1300 ele foi eleito um dos 6 magistrados que governaram Florença. Mas, em 1302, sua carreira política terminou com um golpe. Em sua ausência, Dante foi condenado por corrupção e sentenciado à fogueira. Sua ausência tornou-se exílio. Ele nunca poderia voltar. A cidade que tanto amava o traiu.
Everything seemed to have been lost. His political career was gone. His house was gone. The style of living he was used to was gone. And no doubt there was some despair.
It seems pretty clear that he could not have written the poem without that exile. It's what allowed him to think about things in a much larger context, and coming to terms with that exile is really, in a very large sense, what the poem is actually all about.
Para iniciar a jornada, Dante e Virgílio devem entrar pelos portões do inferno.
When they first arrive at the gates of hell, there's a sign posted that says, "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here." The most terrifying aspect I find of Dante's Inferno is the idea that it is the place without hope. And that theme comes up again and again when they're going down through the bowels of hell.
We are lost, afflicted only this one way, that having no hope, we live in longing. I heard these words with heartfelt grief that seized on me.
Esperança era essencial na Idade Média. A vida era detestável, brutal e breve. Violência política e religiosa eram a regra, não a exceção. As doenças eram devastadoras e inexplicáveis. Para muitos, a esperança da vida eterna dava uma razão para enfrentar o sofrimento da vida diária.
The last thing you wanted to do was to end up in eternity in a world that looked an awful lot like the one you just came from. The images of torment and physical danger in Dante's Inferno do reflect something of that cultural experience.
Inferno é parte da trilogia A Divina Comédia, que começa no inferno e passa pelo purgatório até o paraíso. Nessa trilogia, Dante percebe que nosso destino na vida após a morte é determinado pelas escolhas que fazemos em vida.
The Divine Comedy was definitely a book about choice. It was definitely a book written for the living to sort of make people stop and think about not just what they're doing, but about the path of their lives, about what they want to accomplish in life.
Quando os pecadores chegam ao inferno, devem se apresentar ao juiz Minós para receberem a punição e saber onde ficarão no inferno.
What hell does is register the kind of person you've become and kind of recreate that in an eternal way. What Dante is doing is finding imaginative ways to present a geography of choice.
O primeiro lugar que Dante e Virgílio visitam é o Círculo 1, o Limbo. Todas as almas sem batismo, incluindo Virgílio, ficam ali. A única punição é a eternidade sem a visão de Deus. O verdadeiro inferno começa no Círculo 2, o Círculo dos Lascivos. Os pecadores que Dante encontra aí têm sido retratados na cultura popular por quase 700 anos. Francesca e Paulo viveram na época de Dante e escolheram cometer o adultério. Eles são os primeiros de muitos pecadores a implorar para Dante ouvir seu sofrimento. Como muitos pecadores no inferno, Francesca não acha que deveria ser culpada por seu pecado.
She tries to get Dante to believe that the reason that she did what she did was because she was reading a book. And she saw lovers kissing in the book, so she sort of used it as a kind of how-to manual.
Com a descoberta, o marido de Francesca mata os amantes. O encontro de Dante com Francesca e Paulo é o primeiro diálogo de Inferno. Suas punições estabelecem o tom moral de todo o poema.
If we think about the sin of lust as Dante defines it, let's ask ourselves, what's it like to live by your hormones? The answer is, it's a rough ride.
Dante had a great imagination for giving physical versions of psychological and moral tendencies. So people who sin through excess or misdirected sexual or erotic feeling are blown about in a kind of a hurricane.
Dante, tomado de pena pela situação dos amantes, acaba desfalecendo. Suas emoções o impedem de ver o pecado dos dois.
as Francesca tells this story and how she's compelled by love and how she's compelled by the book to do these various things, she leaves out a couple details. A, she's married. B, she's not with her husband. C, she's with her husband's brother. And those turn out to be fairly significant details. It's Dante the wayfarer, Dante the guy taking this trip through hell, who has great pity for Francesca. We need to remember he's just left the dark wood of error. He's pretty messed up, and he remains pretty messed up long after his visit with Francesca. His journey is a journey out of the dark wood of error, and he's not out of the forest yet.
Inferno traz uma visão única do inferno. Ele povoou o além com pessoas reais, tormentos e dores reais.
I don't think anyone can presume to describe hell physically except in Dante's terms. His imagination has permanently fixed our image of hell.
People have done better at using Dante as a kind of inspiration than as an object of imitation. I don't think anybody has really come along in modern media who has done something with the Inferno that really stands up. But it's pretty clear that Dante is an influence in an awful lot of work.
Após Dante escrever Inferno, artistas começaram a ilustrar sua visão. O famoso quadro de Michelangelo, O Julgamento Final, foi inspirado em Dante. O tema do inferno foi fundamental para o trabalho de Hieronymus Bosch. E Gustave Doré ilustrou toda a Divina Comédia. Artistas continuam a pintar, a esculpir e a interpretar baseados na visão de Dante. O que atrai muitos desses artistas é que Dante escreveu sobre o inferno com detalhes precisos e particulares.
Do not fear those who kill the body, but are unable to kill the soul.
Para Dante, a Bíblia era a autoridade no além. Mas ela fala em termos vagos e místicos. Dante expandiu essas ideias e deu ao inferno forma, tamanho e estrutura.
All sin comes down to the breaking of God's law and the denial of God's glory. And in that sense, all sin is the same, even though its effects may be very different. So Dante's imagination ran wild here, and in a way that is perfectly consistent with the way we would design hell if we were its designer.
Clearly, there's no argument. The Bible is the single most important source for Dante and for Dante's vision. You have the story of the Exodus in Hebrew Scripture as a paradigm of liberation, going from slavery to freedom. Dante uses that as the paradigm story of his own journey, the journey of the pilgrim, from a life of sin to a life of redemption.
Dante probably would be the one that gave us the most clear picture of hell. Images that have captured the human imagination, it kind of in the way that Gehenna captured the imagination originally.
Na Bíblia, Jesus Cristo avisa a seus discípulos sobre a Gina de Fogo. Gina era depósito de lixo inflamável fora da cidade de Jerusalém.
It was not just a garbage dump. All the sewers would drain directly into this valley, so that there was always a current of urine and feces coursing through the place, and mold and mildew. The trash that had been left there was all maggot-ridden.
A Bíblia se refere a Gina como lugar em que o verme nunca morre.
When the prophets were trying to describe to sinners what the afterlife would be like, they used this imagery. They'd all smelled it, they'd all seen it. And so the prophets would say, well, if you're not careful, you are going to spend eternity in a place such as this.
Cada cultura interpreta o inferno de forma diferente. Para o povo de Jerusalém, ele era Gina. Começando no século XIV, o inferno tornou-se o inferno de Dante. Dante e seus contemporâneos acreditavam na vida eterna de recompensas e punições. Hoje, a ideia de inferno mudou drasticamente.
Hell is a big marketing ploy, especially these days, not just in the media. There are products that use images of the devil to sell their wares. It's a very marketable idea.
Por mais que Dante tenha formado nosso conceito de inferno, a atitude da sociedade com relação a isso mudou.
Welcome to the party!
Hell appears so often in movies and music videos, television commercials. It's sort of a kind of a fun place for the wild crowd.
You've taken to sin with such minimal prompting.
A place where you can play loud music and where the women are always scantily dressed and beautiful. You can drink as much as you want. You can do whatever you want.
E Dante escreveu sobre as consequências de levar uma vida assim.
Dante wrote the Inferno with a set purpose in mind, and the purpose was basically to try and convince people that they should live better. They should kind of look at their vices and see where they need to change in order to avoid hell and move towards paradise. If you look at all the different levels of the Inferno, each one is dedicated to different vices and different crimes that really any of us could commit.
Dante escreveu o inferno como um católico devoto, mas sua visão vai além da doutrina católica.
Even if you removed some of the theology that's specifically Christian, there is a moral structure that is consistent and clearly has universal applicability. Everywhere in the world, Dante as a moral voice and a moral force and a moral categorizer is important.
A jornada de Dante pelo inferno é um empreendimento psicológico. Quanto mais se aprofunda, mais difícil fica para evitar a realidade do pecado e da dor.
Before he can move toward God, he's really got to examine evil in all of its forms, which is, to some extent, holding up a mirror. That's what these sinners do. They hold up a mirror to Dante, what he might be, what he might become, if he doesn't turn away from that. It's a journey in self-knowledge and self-realization for somebody who starts in a dark wood of error and comes to understand the nature of evil by the end of the journey when he gets to the bottom of hell.
A jornada continua. Dante e Virgílio descem ao Círculo 5, onde o papel de Dante como observador assustado chega ao fim. No Círculo dos Irados, pecadores vingativos são condenados a lutar e discutir nas margens do rio Styx. Lúcifer se esconde, preso na lama abaixo das águas escuras. Quando Dante e Virgílio atravessam o rio Styx, são reconhecidos por um inimigo político de Dante. Filippo Argenti fica irritado ao ver Dante vivo no inferno. A ira de Dante o inflama e ele ataca.
What seems to be happening here is this sense that with Dante, he's sort of getting a chance to pay back one of the folks who did him wrong.
And I said, Master, truly I should like to see that spirit pickled in this swill before we've made our way across the lake. And he to me, before we see the shore, you will be satisfied, for what you seek is fitting. After a little, I saw him endure fierce mangling by the people of the mud, a sight I give God thanks and praises for. He tells Virgil, I would really like to see Filippo Argenti mangled and boiled and pickled in this dirty swamp. Could I see that? And Virgil says, oh, that's a good desire. Yes, we'll see that, I promise. This is somewhat alien to our sensibility, and it seems to me Dante is writing about the individual grudges and desires and appetites of the soul as that soul journeys towards some place above or beyond those desires and appetites.
O trecho do Rio Styx marca o início da transformação de Dante. Ele aprendeu a não sentir pena do condenado, mas continua buscando vingança por seu exílio. Sua peregrinação ainda não terminou.
Dante, the narrator, is not simply wandering through an interesting place, a kind of hell's mouth for tourists. But what he's doing is actually changing personally and internally along the way.
Para se livrar da vingança, Dante precisa testemunhar as consequências de intenções maliciosas. Nas profundezas do inferno, ele verá os pecadores violentos. Dante Alighieri escreveu o inferno para o maior número possível de leitores. Ele queria que as pessoas percebessem que as escolhas que fazemos na vida têm consequências significativas. Para ilustrar a ideia de que nem todos os pecados possuem a mesma raiz, colocou um muro divisor entre o inferno superior e o inferior, diferenciando pecados de fraqueza e de maldade.
There's the evil that comes from human weakness, where we simply slip and slide into the kind of mistakes and choices that are not helpful to our growth, and those kinds of choices that may in fact hurt others by the consequences, but we didn't really intend them. We weren't trying to hurt someone else. Or the other kind, where people are genuinely malicious. They want to hurt someone else, for whatever reason, rationalized in their own heads.
Dante e Virgílio cruzam o rio Styx para entrar na cidade protegida de Dis, no inferno inferior.
We had progressed into the deep-dug moats that circle near the walls of that bleak city which seemed cast of solid iron.
Até no inferno, os acusados de atos violentos e horríveis precisam ser presos e vigiados. Bill Cook e Ron Hersman utilizaram a Divina Comédia para um programa educacional de presos em uma penitenciária de segurança máxima.
We were talking about Paolo and Francesca, and we were explaining how she was blaming the book and she was blaming love, but she wouldn't accept blame for herself. And a student of ours, a murderer, put up his hand and said, "That's me. That's why I'm here."
Alguns criminosos, como os pecadores do inferno, nunca aceitam a culpa pelos crimes que cometeram. Sterling Fisher é um assassino condenado à prisão perpétua que está em uma prisão norte-americana.
My hell basically has been being forced to sit there and hear things that you know are not true. People don't even care about the present of what's taking place. They just look at the past of what you've done and they paint a picture, not knowing the individual, not knowing the circumstances. To me, that's hell. I mean, that eats me up when I choose to dwell on it.
To live with the view of the self as evil and going to hell is unacceptable for most people. One of the most fascinating things that I have learned in my 30 years as a forensic psychologist is that even people who have committed many crimes, serious crimes, they all regard themselves as decent people. Many people have a fascinating way of justifying the things they've done wrong.
Apesar de Dante não ter cometido muitos dos pecados que ele relata no poema, ele continua se forçando a ver a si mesmo nos pecadores do inferno. Ao fazer isso, ele tem a chance de mudar seu destino eterno. Na prisão, Sterling Fisher tem o resto da vida para pensar o que quer mudar. Será que ele cometeria um crime novamente?
Would I ever commit murder again? No, I never intended to commit murder in the beginning.
Ele sente remorso por seu crime?
I feel for the family, but for the victim, I can't say I have any remorse. I mean, you know, when you do wrong, it catches up with you, no matter what side of the fence that you're on. I went to go sell a guy a gun. He tried to take the gun and the money, and he was initially, he was shot twice. It sounds real bad, but when you look at it, I mean, he got what his hand called for.
If anybody commits a crime, or if anybody hurts another person, but they don't see the hurt, and they think that the fault lies outside themselves, there's nowhere to go. Because all responsibility is deflected. There is no judge, police officer, parent or wife that can make somebody change against his or her will. So eventually the person has to become fed up with himself or herself. In other words, there's got to be internal motivation, really, for any of us to change.
Psicólogos forenses ajudam detentos que aceitam responsabilidade ao examinarem suas vidas. Como Virgílio, eles levam suas culpas para os cantos mais obscuros da mente, para entender as consequências das escolhas que fizeram.
It's trying to help a person make a new series of choices in life, but in a totally different direction from the direction he's taken previously. The therapist is the guide along the way.
Em sua jornada para sair do desespero, Dante sempre procura por seu guia, Virgílio. Virgílio o ajuda a encarar seu lado obscuro, seus pecados e seus erros de julgamento. Somente assim, Dante pode emergir na luz do pensamento correto.
Dante needs Virgil to guide him through the process because the writer, Dante, thinks that no one can do this pilgrimage alone. That this is really a communal effort. Yes, you make your own choices, but without a guide, you might not get there.
Em Inferno, no Círculo 7, Virgílio leva Dante para testemunhar a punição dos assassinos. Eles são imersos no sangue que ajudaram a derramar.
Dante is very good at imagining a correlative physical embodiment of a sin. And these are not only clever, they enforce the idea that the sin is its own pain, that the diminishment of the soul hurts. So every time he imagines a sin, he's not just imagining a separate punishment and offense, he's trying to imagine a self-wounding as one thing.
Dante fica horrorizado pelo rio de sangue, mas Virgílio encoraja-o a olhar os pecadores no rosto.
In fact, the guide says to him, you have to stop that, you know. These people deserved what they got, and in fact, it's a matter of justice.
A fé cristã prega que o inferno é um lugar de justiça.
The biblical understanding of hell is deeply satisfying. And by that I mean that there is a yearning in our hearts, and if we're really honest with ourselves, to know that there will be that great settling of the scales, that justice will prevail, and that the right will be rewarded and the wrong will be punished.
Throughout many cultures and really throughout the world, hell has always been the last hope for justice. There is the concept that no matter what you've done in life, no matter how rich you are, how wealthy, how powerful, if you have involved yourself in evil, you will have to pay in hell.
Mais adiante, no Círculo 8 do Inferno de Dante, os ladrões que roubaram outros ladrões passam a eternidade tendo seus corpos roubados.
Amid this horde, cruel, grim, and dense, people were running, naked and terrified. Their hands were tied behind their backs with snakes that thrust between where the legs meet, entwining tail and head into a knot in front.
Perhaps it's not that we're attracted to torment and suffering so much as we like seeing some people get their comeuppance.
Dante quer que seus leitores percebam que pecar é uma questão de escolha e que o pecado leva à morte da alma.
Why do we choose to sin and wither? Dante asks that question. He says, who gathers together so much torment? And in some ways, the answer is that we do. Inferno, in some ways, is a kind of schooling of Dante's will. He sees the spectacle or pageant of all the ways that souls wound themselves in order to school his will in a better direction.
Antes de Dante achar o caminho do bem, ele precisa encarar o mal. O próprio Lúcifer. O inferno de Dante é um guia para a vida. Nenhum trabalho literário definiu melhor a natureza do pecado. Dante e Virgílio descem ao círculo 9, último círculo do inferno. O abismo gelado de Lúcifer.
Hell is an absence. As light is present and dark is an absence of light energy, and cold is an absence of heat energy, sin is an absence of soul, of moral energy. Therefore, at the very pit and the center of hell is a profound absence of heat or warmth. It is profoundly dead, therefore frozen. It's the ultimate negative.
We sometimes use expressions like hotter than the hinges of hell, and we might expect that at the bottom of hell we have heat and fire, but it's exactly the opposite. We have ice, we have cold, because we're farthest away from God, and God is on fire with love. Therefore, ice and cold really represent hate, while in a lot of traditional Christian symbolism, fire represents love.
O lago congelado no inferno é a punição pelo pecado da traição. Aqueles que perverteram a fé e o amor. Aqueles acusados de traição contra a família e a pátria.
This is the ultimate imprisonment. They're not just imprisoned in hell, they can't move in hell. Because of their evil, they are just damned to stay there forever, fixed in this terrible place.
The center of hell is not just that you don't love someone, but that you betray someone you love. You deliberately pervert your intimate relationship with this person and reverse it.
Dante places betrayal at the bottom of hell as the worst sin because Dante himself had felt betrayed by his church and by his countrymen and really by fate.
O renomado tatuador Paul Booth usa sua arte para lidar com o sentimento da traição.
My tattoo work helps me with my emotional state, really, because for me, it's a real venting process. I've been given a big chip on my shoulder towards my religious background. I don't like what they did to my head. The fear tactics, the second guessing, the self-esteem issues, everything from what the church had done to me as a child.
Poe não é um tatuador comum. Suas imagens são focadas no macabro, no sinistro, no terrível. Ele recriou a visão de Dante em seu trabalho de tatuagem.
Well, the Inferno has had a major impact on my work. It's the first real visual depiction of what hell could be. And it's easily adapted to any modern day situation. The things that are dealt with in the Inferno, everyone can relate to at some level. It's timeless. For some people, getting a tattoo of such imagery is almost like an exorcism. I've had customers tell me I've cured their nightmares and released them.
Poe usa a pele humana como uma tela para nos lembrar que a civilização moderna pode criar sua própria visão do inferno.
With these images of violence or Satan, devils, demons, Holocaustic type of images, putting it in people's face like that is kind of showing them that, that some of the choices we make are not always the best ones. And we can only make choices for ourselves, not for other people. And that is really, in a roundabout sense, what I try and say with my art.
No inferno de Dante, o condenado não tem mais escolhas. Dante segue Virgílio pelo gelo exposto ao vento e encontra dois pecadores presos juntos. Assim como Francesca e Paulo estavam presos pelo amor, Ugolino e Ruggieri estão presos pelo ódio. O ódio é tão intenso que Ugolino se alimenta do cérebro de seu inimigo. Na época de Dante, eles conspiraram para representar sua cidade, mas Ruggieri se voltou contra Ugolino e o prendeu em uma torre, sem comida, com seus filhos e netos. A visão de seus filhos morrendo transformou o amor que sentia por eles, transpondo seu ódio para seu inimigo.
If ultimately what makes the world go round is love, if God ultimately is love, then at the bottom what you're going to find is absolute hate. Cannibalism is a way of imaging that hate.
Pausing in his savage meal, the sinner raised his mouth and wiped it clean along the hair left on the head whose back he had laid waste. Then he began. You ask me to endure, reliving a grief so desperate the thought torments my heart, even as I prepare to tell it. But if my words are seeds, with fruit of infamy for this traitor that I gnaw, I will both speak and weep within your sight.
Conforme Ugolino conta a Dante sobre seus filhos, sua dor é renovada e também o seu ódio.
And he sort of says, look, this really pains me to talk about this, but if I can cause some pain for the guy that I'm munching on, any price is worth it. And in there, you see the essence of hell.
Ugolino is the last sinner with whom Dante has conversation in hell. And amongst other things, the image of Ugolino eating the brain of his enemy is an image of frustrated, unsatisfying, pointless revenge. And in some ways, that image is an image of Dante's farewell to the motive of revenge.
Dante se libertou dos pecados de fraqueza, maldade e trapaça. Agora está preparado para enfrentar o mal absoluto. Dis, ou Lúcifer, como geralmente é chamado, está congelado até a cintura no gelo do inferno.
Look, here is Dis, he said, and here is the place where you must arm yourself with the quality of fortitude. How chilled and faint I was on hearing that. You must not ask me, reader. I do not write it. Words would not suffice.
Lúcifer não é apenas retratado como um anjo caído. Dante o visualizou como uma figura de 3 cabeças, vencido pela mágoa, pela tristeza, chorando em um véu de lágrimas. Suas asas batem incessantemente, congelando todo lugar.
What we see is this great parody of the Trinity. If God is power, wisdom, and love, Satan is impotence, ignorance, and hate. And just as we see that parody of the Trinity with the 3 heads, we also see there are 3 sinners. The greatest betrayer of the Roman Empire, Brutus and Cassius, and the greatest and most direct betrayer of God, that is to say, the betrayer of God incarnate, Jesus, and of course that would be Judas.
Dante uses that theme again of betrayal and of pride in his Inferno to show that God doesn't force people to sin. The devil doesn't force people to sin. But people make the choice to sin, and really, ultimately, every sin is an act of pride.
Dante quer encontrar o caminho até Deus. Essa jornada lhe mostrou o caminho. Incontáveis pessoas fizeram jornadas parecidas, mas algumas acreditam que já estiveram no inferno e voltaram. Inferno é sobre encontrar um caminho até Deus. Dante escreveu sobre os horrores resultantes do pecado e a necessidade de alcançar o fundo antes da verdadeira mudança ocorrer. Howard Stone fez essa mesma jornada há 17 anos e quase morreu nesse processo. Em 1984, ele estava em Paris com seus estudantes de arte quando teve uma perfuração no estômago. Ele foi levado às pressas para a sala de emergência para uma cirurgia durante a noite. Ele estava enfraquecendo rapidamente. Quando estava morrendo, sua jornada ao inferno começou.
Although I was very aware of the situation, that I was in a hospital and I was awaiting surgery, I felt good. I felt really good. I felt alive and whole.
Howard era ateu e não acreditava em céu ou inferno.
There were no such things as out-of-body experiences or life after death experiences. That stuff didn't exist, so none of that ever occurred to me.
Howard diz que estranhos o levaram por um corredor escuro.
These people were all over, everywhere, trying to humiliate and violate my person physically and emotionally, psychologically. I feel like right now, just talking about this stuff, I'm walking on quicksand, and I'll sink back down into the feelings of that experience if I don't get out of it really quick.
Durante seu tormento, Howard ouviu sua própria voz dizendo para rezar a Deus. Com a simples menção dessa palavra, ele afirma que seus algozes ficaram enfurecidos.
Any mention of God kind of pushed them away from me. They were retreating into the darkness, making greater and greater threats.
Mas Howard estava sozinho em seu próprio inferno.
This place was a place of despair. It was pure, unadulterated despair.
Então Howard diz que não estava sozinho.
A faint, tiny light appeared in that darkness and became impossibly bright. It came upon me and reached down and touched me and healed me of all of my wounds and pain.
Howard crê que Jesus Cristo foi até ele nesse dia, com um grupo de anjos para salvá-lo. E lhe foi dada uma segunda chance.
I said, what is it you want me to do? And I said, well, love the person that you're with. Take care of your mother and father. Be nice to the people that you meet at the gas station and the grocery store. That seems so simple, so easy. I've found out over the past 16 years it's not easy at all. It's very difficult. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. Hi.
This is thrilled to see you. How beautiful. Elizabeth, does that sound like something Jesus might do? It is exactly the kind of thing that Jesus might do.
Did God give me this whole experience just in my mind, or did I actually experience it? I don't know. From my point of view, I experienced it.
This is my buddy right here, huh?
I'm willing to accept that this was just like the greatest experience of my life, and I never traveled 1 inch.
We love you.
Através dos séculos, continuamos a reinterpretar o inferno, de um lugar físico para um estado de espírito.
I believe it's a place I'll never want to be.
Hell is basically an invention of the human mind.
Hell was the place where you burned.
Em 1999, o Papa João Paulo II falou sobre o inferno.
Rather than a place, hell indicates the state of those who freely and definitively separate themselves from God. This state of definitive self-exclusion from communion with God and the blessed is called hell.
Was it a surprise to some Catholic Christians? I suspect so, because I think for many of them around the world, hell or heaven appeared as physical places, as part of their popular imagination. For him to step back from that looked to them like he was somehow downplaying it, I suspect. He wanted to do just the opposite, not to diminish the power or possibility of heaven and hell, but to recover it for a contemporary context.
Alguns teologistas discordam.
I'm afraid the Pope has confused the biblical teaching of hell. Everything the Pope says positively about hell in that statement, about its alienation from God and the fact that it is a condition of absolute separation from God, all that is true. The dangerous part comes in what is denied, and that is that hell is a place. And clearly the Scripture teaches that hell is a place. It is that condition of absolute God-forsakenness, but it is also a place of everlasting punishment.
People who have denied God will go to hell.
I think I'm just going to sit in a box for a good long while after I die.
It is really a state of mind, or state of mental consciousness.
If I end up going to hell, then it's my fault for making the wrong choices.
Hell is the freezing up of our choices when we don't have them anymore. It turns out that we've made choices all along the way, which means that at the end of our life, we've become a certain kind of person.
No final da jornada de Dante, ele não está mais em um estado de desespero, vagando pela selva escura do pecado. Ele viu seus próprios pecados e enfrentou seus próprios demônios. Um novo caminho o aguarda.
Come, the way is long, the road remaining to be crossed is hard. Rise to your feet, the Master said. The sun is at mid-tierce.
I don't think anyone has ever written a book that is about more essential things. It's a book about the center of living a life. The fact that a life must end, the fact that a life takes many petty turns, the fact that a life is also in the context of eternity on either side of it. No one has ever written more eloquently or directly about such things.
Dante sobe do inferno para iniciar outra jornada. A jornada para a esperança e o paraíso.